Currently, a little more than half of the fish eaten worldwide are wild caught. Fish farming is a global industry. The majority of farmed fish come from China and Indonesia. The size of fish farming operations range from small family-owned farms to large industrial operations. Fish farms pose many problems, and we only have time to touch on a few. These issues are the growing antibiotic resistance in farmed fish, the prevalence of diseases in close quarters, and the accumulation of toxic substances throughout the trophic pyramid. When large quantities of fish are kept together, they are more likely to get communicable diseases or parasites such as sea lice. Sea lice are a parasitic crustacean that attach to a fish and consume its skin and flesh. These hitchhikers steal metabolic resources from the fish and increase a wild fish's risk of being eaten by predators. Sea lice cause lesions, inflammation, stress and aggressive behavior, restlessness and irritation, as well as loss of scales. Farmed fish, along with their parasites, are protected from predators and act as a breeding ground for sea lice. Farmed fish are also more susceptible to viruses and bacterial infections such as the salmon leukemia virus. Treating these diseases in fish can pollute the water as well as leave toxins in the fish that are headed to market. One method used to combat this issue is to dump antibiotics into the water. This method can lead to development of antimicrobial resistance in fish pathogens and other aquatic bacteria. Drug-resistant bacteria can act as reservoirs of resistant genes, from which genes can disseminate to human pathogens, for example the spread of resistant genes from Aranoma species to E. coli. Local water and land sources may cause possible fecal matter contaminants in fish farms. This makes the fish a vector to carry pathogenic bacteria such as Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria into the human population. The fish can also get these types of bacteria from being handled or processed. Mercury is the most common heavy metal that is found in fish. Once a fish is contaminated, the toxin stays in their body and gets transferred to the next organism to eat it. The more of these fish one consumes, the higher concentration of mercury that is transferred to them. Symptoms of mercury poisoning include rashes, burning, itching or peeling skin, swelling and discoloration, as well as loss of hair and nails. It can lead to memory impairment, insomnia, and kidney failure. Mercury is especially harmful for women who are pregnant because it affects brain development of children in utero. In addition to the myriad of negative health effects on both fish and humans, the environment is also impacted by large-scale fish farming. Wild-caught fish are used to feed farmed fish, which puts additional pressure on these wild populations. It takes 3 to 6 pounds of wild-caught fish to support 1 pound of farmed fish. The antibiotics used not only treat the fish in the pens, but leach out into the open water and affect other marine organisms. Farm fish can escape and compete for food and habitat space with other local fish. They can transmit diseases to similar species and impact the food web of the area. Some species of farm fish are genetically modified, and if they escape and breed with local populations, they have the potential to destroy the genomic integrity of those populations. Fish waste is arguably the largest environmental problem associated with fish farms. The waste flows out into the surrounding water, adding nutrients to the ecosystem. An increase in nutrients can lead to eutrophication and anoxia, or at least lessen the abundance and biodiversity of the local communities. So how do we address these issues? There are a few available options. Here are some easy-to-implement solutions. Aquaponics is a possible solution to solving problems with traditional fish farming. This new system does not involve any other harmful chemicals that are used in traditional fish farming and can produce large quantities of fish and produce.
240 hungry fish share the tanks at Baltimore's Silburn Aquaponics farm.
Hey guys!
Farm manager Laura Ginello feeds them breakfast. From these tanks, water rich in what you might call fish manure flows through a filter system and into the adjacent plant beds, where lettuce and peppers grow and cucumber vines reach for the ceiling.
The fish provide all of the nutrients for our plants to grow, and the plants in turn filter the water for the fish.
It's called aquaponics. It combines aquaculture, or fish farming, with hydroponics, growing plants without soil.
This type of fish farming can be done in many kinds of environments and is not limited to shore areas. Eat local fish whenever possible. If not, ensure that you purchase fish caught or farmed using environmentally friendly practices. For more information and to see what fish are good choices for your location, go to the MontereyBayAquarium.com and download your local seafood watch guide. To reduce your impact on the environment and to avoid harmful toxins that may be in your fish, you can eat lower on the food chain. This means eating less fish or removing it altogether from your diet and replacing it with more vegetables and grains. Vegetables take significantly less input to grow and are cheaper.